lover like any other. What do I get? I only want a friendly state.
What do I get? President Trump once called Buzzfeed a failing pile of garbage. That's fun. That may go down as the nicest thing he ever says about them from now on, after special counsel Robert Mueller shot down a bombshell report that accused the president of instructing Michael Cohen to lie to Congress, just hours after Trump haters began dancing in the streets over what looked like a clear case of obstruction of justice and, of course, impeachment. A spokesman for special counsel's office took the rare step of issuing a public comment saying, quote, Buzzfeed's description of specific statements to the special counsel's office and characterization of documents and testimony obtained by this office regarding Michael Cohen's congressional testimony are not accurate. That sound you hear is the record scratching at the impeachment party. But despite special counsel's pushback, Buzzfeed says they're standing by their reporting.
I have further confirmation that this is right. We're being told to stand our ground. This is our reporting is going to be borne out to be accurate, and we're 100% behind it.
Accurate-ish, for what it's worth. The president's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, says he is also, quote, 100% certain the president never instructed Michael Cohen to lie to Congress. So does BuzzFeed have a smoking gun, or should they stick to smoking some other things? Let's join tonight's panel. Here they are in action from District Media Group, where she serves as president and contributor to the Washington Examiner and Daily Signal. Beverly Hallberg is here, along with the politics editor at Insider and producer of the Fifth Column podcast, It Is That Good, Anthony Fisher, and the one and only host of the Tom Shillue radio show and author of Mean Dads, it is Tom Shillue. Welcome, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you. So when this story broke, even conservative pundits, when they were reading the very first report, saying this is incredibly serious. If this is true, this could be the beginning of the undoing of this presidency.
Yeah. Well,
what happened?
I think they didn't read beyond the headline, because the headline was inflammatory.
Mm-hmm.
It said the president told Michael Cohen to lie. But then when you read the article, there weren't any quotes in it. There were no quotes in it. And there were just top guys. Well, according to top guys, they said that this happened. And, you know, they might all be right, because top guys might feel that, according to whatever evidence they've seen, the president lied to Michael Cohen. But, you know, lie is a word that we see in the New York Times. They printed, what was it, the 1,200 lies? Mm-hmm. I looked at them all, and there might be a couple of whoppers in there, but 1,100 of them are kind of debatable. Yeah. You know what I mean? And some of them I say, that's not a lie. That's questionable. That might be. So maybe one top guy thinks that what he told him to do was lie, but maybe Mueller doesn't think so, obviously, because that's why he issued that statement.
But BuzzFeed operates differently than the New York Times, and this is not traditional objective journalism. This is almost like print stuff first, answer questions later. What do you think about this?
They've gotten stuff right a lot, and these guys actually have a pretty good track record. These specific reporters, Anthony Cormier and Jason Leopold.
Jason Leopold has been accused of some pretty shady stuff, including plagiarism and flat-out lying.
He's admitted to those things. These things are a decade in the past, and more recently, he's been nominated for a Pulitzer Prize. Yes. But the thing about Jason Leopold, unfortunately, which was made public, when he went to Mueller's office and specifically said, we are going to write this story, instead of putting all of the action items of the piece in the email saying, this is what we are going to write about, can you confirm or deny any of this? He wrote a one-sentence thing that was very broad saying, this is what the article is about. And as Carr will always do, he says, no comment. And only when the article was written did the Mueller's office go, this is so far off of what we believe to be true that we are going to just say, no, this is not accurate. So it's Jason
But we're
Leopold,
not talking about a street name or whether or not there was someone saying that was punctuated correctly. We're talking about special counsel's office dispatched and dismissed the article completely.
And they could have avoided that had they been specific when they reached out for comment.
Yeah, and BuzzFeed doesn't have a very good explanation for that either.
No, when it comes to even the sources, the two sources that they're talking about, they don't have any emails, they don't have any texts, there's no proof, there's no evidence to these claims. These people could be lying, so maybe they did talk to individuals who said all this happened. Where is the proof? Look, I think when it comes to BuzzFeed, they have great cat videos, they have great listicles of the top 10 of whatever is going on, but when it comes to serious investigative journalism, journalism. I don't think of BuzzFeed as being that source. So I think the question is, you were talking about how so many people said, if true, if true.
Yes.
What about if false? What happens to media outlets if it's false? Where do we go with
media
this?
outlets,
This is damaging.
by and large, ignore it, and you have to go to social media to see what people are saying on either side, as was the case this weekend with, you know, the Covington Catholic School and the young men at the march and the Native Americans, and, you know, one video starts here and another starts 2 hours earlier, and if you do in fact glean the truth, very few outlets are going to make a correction.
And I think that's what's so scary, because and then it comes down to, when it comes to the media, I do think that we need to have reliable journalism, because then where do people turn? I think most people these days.
It's so easy for people to just make fun of traditional journalism, or, you know, even new media outlets like BuzzFeed, and say, well, there you go, fake news once again. I don't believe anything unless the president tweets it. All right, the panel is going to return.